It's called the Peak Stock Car Dream. You go to peakstockcardream.com. That's where the fans can go to sign up. And I wanted to get that out there right away because we've gotten so many cool videos from fans talking about their passion for racing. And when I say fans, they start out young nowadays, racing online, racing simulators, and eventually go-karts and on up into sprint cars or whatever their discipline they choose to pursue is. And so we're asking these folks to become a part of our team, to not only use their enthusiasm and their energy as fans for the sport, but as aspiring race car drivers, young drivers that want to get a chance to race in NASCAR. Thanks to Peak Motor Oil, is now going to have this chance. You enter by submitting a video, you tell about your racing history, show yourself winning races, and then eventually you're going to get a track test, and the winner gets to continue down that road. So it's really fun for me because as a kid growing up, I feel like I had really a bit of an unfair advantage against other kids because ever since I've been on this earth, I was watching cars go around the track, and that's where my passion came from, and that's how I knew how to drive a car before I ever got in one. And that's why I got a chance to race and ultimately race in Daytona and NASCAR. So these young folks, old folks, whatever they are, people that have passion for the sport, love to race, want to be a racer, love to cheer for their favorite NASCAR driver, whatever their situation is, thanks to Peak Motor Oil and this great program, they're going to get a chance to see if they got what it takes to be successful in NASCAR. I love this. I'm so energetic about what you guys have put together, and can't wait to figure out how to pick a winner out of all this.
So this is Brian Emmerich, Senior Vice President of Old World Industries, the parent company of Peak Motor Oil, and this is part of his brainchild, and I'd like for him to tell you about more details.
Well, I appreciate it. You know, one of the things that we have to do as sponsors is find ways to make a connection between what's going on the track and the assets that we have on the track and the folks that are back home in their garages doing the work on their cars and buying our products. And we wanted to come up with a creative idea where we could say, great, you know what, there is a lot of folks in NASCAR today, but for every one, you know, there's thousands of men and women out there sitting in the stands, sitting in the grandstands that are looking for their opportunity to get a chance to be seen and be heard and to potentially race at this level. And so what we decided to do was create this opportunity for them to tell us about their experience, why they do what they do, what they're looking for in their lives, and then ultimately we picked 10 folks that will go out and join us in Charlotte for 3 days. They'll be trained by these two guys. Danica Patrick, who we're very proud of on our team as well, will be part of this, as well as a bunch of other folks, including Ty and lots of other people, to say, let's pick one winner, right? So we're gonna put them in different situations. We're gonna give them media training. We're gonna do all the typical things that you would do when you look at a driver. But when we pick that one winner, we'll then send them off, and we'll send them with Petty to basically go through a version of their ARCA school, their licensing school, with the hope of, if they can get their license, we'll put them in a car with the team, give them a chance to race, and if they can continue to progress, we'll be behind them, supporting them all the way. You know, this is really about the grassroots that's important. You know, Clint's got a great backstory. Everybody's got a great backstory, but for every one driver that's out here, you know, there's hundreds of other drivers that could be just as good, if not better, but they haven't got the chance to show them, maybe not better than you, but they haven't had the chance to show what they've got. And so this is the idea. We want to take people from the grandstand and give them the opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, just mirroring that. You know, everybody knows my story. Everybody knows, you know, a Kansas kid growing up trying to find his way, you know, to the top ranks of this sport. And, you know, obviously had a lot of connections and you know, got one great phone call. I own 2 dirt late model teams. I have people all the time asking, how do I get my kid, you know, to where you're at? And that opportunity is few and far between anymore. So very proud to be a part of a sponsor that not only supports me on the racetrack, but is also, you know, trying to create a situation for a younger driver to make his way to this, you know, fine world of ours. So all you got to do really is go to peakstockcardream.com and submit a video. We've already seen some neat videos they were showing me, you know, already of young racers and even a guy just a fan. He submitted his video in his '89 Pontiac Grand Prix. That's had no background. He had slicks on it at one time, but I think that was just because the tread wore out. So, you know, obviously we're in it to find the next up-and-coming driver, but we're also in it to have a little fun as well.
And that's the cool thing. I talked about the fans from the top. There's people in those grandstands that know they can drive better than Clint if they just could get down there in that car. And this is a path straight to Clint's car thanks to Peak Motor Oil. And that's what's so really fortunate to be involved with some great companies over the years that have used this sport to sell their goods and services in unique ways. And Napa commercials are a lot of fun, my association with Aaron's. But this is something that Clint and I both can't wait to be a part of and watch it as it progresses. I have other breaking news. I'm reading a book. It's called The Talent Code, and it's about the fact that this author believes that greatness isn't born, it's grown. And I think I'm a great example of that. Like I was talking earlier, I just liked cars. I watched cars. I knew how to drive a car before I ever got in it. And this is a chance for someone who maybe wasn't born with greatness but has a passion for the sport can get their path straight to Daytona as well.
Exactly whose seat do they get? It's not mine, right? Can we clear this up right here?
There's a little bit of details that we have to work out, that the drivers aren't really in on that circle. You know, when we get together as a group, they're, you know, the circle, there's one, and then you've got 3 people that are out of it.
Yeah. The other video, is Mark Martin going to submit a video?
Maybe they can have his. I mean, it's going to take a couple years, 3 years to get them ready.
He's our development driver. You know, we get him. We let him if he keeps doing well, we'll keep moving him up. But we'll open up to questions. We've got a few minutes for some questions. Here, Stan. Go ahead.
Okay, Stan Creekmore with RPM tonight. So, should I make a quick phone call to an 11-year-old Bandolero champion from last year, whose father also happens to be a former Busch Grand National champion, and tell him right away to enter?
Yes, of course. Why wouldn't you? I mean, any kid, anybody, just like we've been covering. I mean, anybody in the stands, this is an opportunity for anybody to submit a video that's worthwhile and to have the credentials to make it worthwhile. We're going to put a symbol, a 10, right? 10 drivers at the end, and then we're going to vote on, you know, the winner. So, yes, anybody you know. You might submit one yourself.
Well, and I would just
maybe not you.
I may just clarify there is an age restriction just on the legal stuff. But to your point, but that's okay. To your point, I mean, we're looking for anybody. I don't care the background. I don't care what experience they have in racing. You know, if we think they have a legitimate shot to prove themselves, that's what's going to be fun. Because we're looking for the diamond in the rough that hasn't had the opportunity to show what they've got, and the audience that they're going to be in front of is going to be pretty unbelievable. So.
Lewis?
Yes, Lewis Frank, Auto Week. Michael, as a team owner, what are the top 2 or 3 things you look for in a potential race driver aside from lap time?
Well, a passion, first of all, for the sport. And, you know, it's so fun these days to go to appearances and meet kids that are 5 or 6 years old that have been racing go-karts for a couple of years. I mean, that means the world to me. And just watching them progress and seeing that the sport is a way of life for them. You know, Clint and I both grew up just all we did was race. It didn't matter what it was, we raced it. And if you have that type of passion for it, that's what I think is important. And then just being enthusiastic and energetic. You gotta be good for your sponsors. It doesn't cost anybody anything to be nice and have fun and try to share your enthusiasm and your passion for the sport. So if you take lap times out of it, which we're doing that with this program, we're just saying, show us what you've done. Okay, you've won some sprint car races or dirt races, that's great. Come on over. But we're starting from scratch once we assemble the 10. And the determining factor will always at the end be how fast you are, what your lap time is. But as we get to that point, the media training that we're speaking of, the enthusiasm for the sport, all those things will be factors as well.
I mean, it's just like any other opportunity, though, to shadow that a little bit. You got to be prepared and ready for your opportunity when it presents itself. This is a great opportunity for a young and up-and-coming racer to get in the limelight. It's so hard to get that recognition in today's day and age, and this is certainly a situation where you get your name out there in a big way and have an opportunity at something.
Question in the back here.
Jesse Giff with the track here. This is for Michael and Clint both. Being this your best memory and least favorite memory of being at the track here.
Clint?
I've had a lot of good ones, only one bad one. I'll take it. I've had a lot of good memories. One was really bad, but that's my answer.
I think we all know what he means. And you want to see enthusiasm and passion. There's a great video of Clint running somewhere. Shows you how into this thing he is.
Where, who knows?
But my favorite memory will always be in 2005 when I ran second here, the April race at night, all the way to the checker. That race, I got here and I drove Tony Jr.'s car, the one that Dale Jr. had driven and won here with, and it really made me feel validated that I could take the same car that Dale Jr. ran up front with and lead laps and almost win as well. It was a big night for me personally, because I'm like, I got the right car, I can do this as well as anyone, and I did it better than everybody but Kurt that night. So I love that day. The worst memory ever was the same one with Clint, because while he was running and everybody was running, I was like standing there thinking, what the hell am I supposed to do? And I never have figured it out yet. But we didn't have a policy in place for that type of occurrence, and now we do, so we're smarter. So I know what I'm supposed to do now. Chase Clint.